I thought Wednesday was a step forward for us. You know, we had not been playing great the weekend before and had been riding the team pretty hard. I thought that Wednesday was better. I still didn't think that we really played Bell soccer like, you know, we're accustomed to. And so we asked them to do more on Friday. And I thought that the first 15 minutes we kind of were under a little bit of pressure by Ben Western. They had a good start. I thought after that we did much better in the first half. And then we made some adjustments at halftime and said that if we made the right adjustments, we might be able to put our foot on the gas and just run over them. And we outshot them 17-4 in the second half. And so the adjustments that we made were pretty good, pretty correct, but the finishing just wasn't there. I mean, you outshoot a team 25-7. We had a single player that had as many shots as they did as a team, and we don't get a goal and we don't get a win. So it's tough to win in those kind of situations, and that's where soccer, a lot of times, stats don't really mean a lot. You know, you can have all the possession and you can have all the shots, and I've been on the other side of that too. I was at another school. We were outshot one game 33-3, and we won 2-1 in overtime. So the number of chances is not the key. It's what you do with them. Yeah, I think it's a situation right now with some of our younger players where they don't appreciate how difficult it is to get a chance, because in high school soccer, chances are there all the time. You know, defending is different, the ability level is different. So I think at college, those chances are so hard to get that you work so hard to create them that you have to be able to get something out of them, you know. And I think that right now that's kind of our situation, you know. Tiffany was hurt. We don't know the extent of it, but she's one of our key attacking players. I would guess that she's not going to be able to play this weekend. And so because of that, we need some of these younger players that have this promise that told us, you know, we can do this and we can do that in the recruiting process. They've got to step up and start doing that. You know, I was just looking through our stats and texting some of them and saying, you know, so far you have this many shots with, you know, this percentage on goal, which is not a great percentage for some of them. So the freshmen have to step up and start producing. They can't just be a part of the experience and enjoy it. They've got to step up and perform as well. Yeah, they have to. They have to. It can't just be, you know, Haley's coming back and we're going to gradually get her back in, but it can't just be her and Demi. You know, if we're going to play with three forwards, then those other players have to do something. And if they're midfielders and we're not playing in a 4-4-2, then they have two choices: sit on the bench or play up front. And if they're going to play up front, then they need to be responsible for getting assists and getting goals. And so, yeah, I mean, we definitely are not throwing in the towel, but what I'm saying is that you can't create 25 chances and lose a game. It's way too many. So hopefully that will be improved this week. Scoring goals. Yeah, just technical stuff, just having all the players, the younger ones. I don't even know what the defenders are going to do this week. They might just sit around and watch. So, but the attacking players have got to work on their finishing. Their percentages and their confidence has to be better. So we'll work on developing that in the next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then hopefully show it on Friday and Sunday.
It's just, you know, to keep fighting. That's what we keep telling our kids. You know, we're going to find out what we're made of and what type of character we have going into this next week. And but there are some positives that we found. You know, obviously we won the second half, and that's something that's really plagued us the first three games. And so defense came out and responded very well and kept their offense out of the end zone. And then with the emergence of Carson Cook at quarterback, got the offense going and was a positive spark for us. So, those are things we can build off. But for our kids, we just tell them that we got to keep fighting, keep swinging, that something good's coming. I think there's a good chance. I think that was a spark that we're needing. He can do some different things. Obviously, he did have one pick. That was probably on the miscommunication between him and a guy signaling the play. But there's some things that we can do to build off of that. We're not giving up on those other two. Those guys will be out there competing just like anyone else would be. So, but you could see that the package that we have with Carson will expand. Well, I don't know if it's more, I think, his personality. Carson is not one to shy away from being very confident in what he can do. I think there's no fear in him. And Carson, the great thing is he runs so well, and so I think that allowed him to do some different things that Faber and Drummer couldn't do. Well, I would have said you're crazy just based off the way spring went. But I think that shows the character of Carson. He's been a kid that's have competed every day. His attitude has never changed, even though he's been the third guy. He's one of our most vocal, most energetic guys on the sideline. So our kids, gravitate to that. And I think that was a spark that our guys need. And so it's going to be fun to watch practice this week because he is an up-tempo, very energetic guy, and I think that's it's kind of what we need going into this week against Kingsville. Yeah, and if you go back and just from a defensive standpoint, you look at they held on the ball for 20 minutes, kept our offense off the field, but a lot of it was our doing from defense. We would just get misaligned and not taking care of our responsibilities. But once we corrected that, we saw the positive impact that had on it. We were able to get the ball back and give it to our offense, and and then you. On the offensive side of the ball, just look at what Carson has done and being able to open up the run lanes from him keeping the ball. I think that's going to help our run game and getting him out of the pocket and opening up and him making some great throws for our receivers. Well, we got to obviously correct our mistakes that we're making, but Kingsville, they're a very physical football team. On the offensive side, defense, they give you multiple looks, so our offense is going to be able to have to be able to recognize the looks that they're getting and be able to change up our blocking schemes based on that. Our defense has got to match the physicality that Kingsville brings on the offensive side of the ball. And, they're a more run-first team. I think that's what they try to lean towards, and our guys up front has been doing very well against the run. So hopefully we'll go out there and clean up our mistakes, hold on to the ball, and that'll give us a chance going into this week. Well, I from a confidence standpoint, it's always important to get that win. Our kids are been practicing hard each week. It's not a lack of trying. So I think for our confidence and for our seniors, for the rest of the season, it is important to try to get that win and find some things you can build off going into the rest of the conference play. Well, I mean, from a coach's standpoint, we talk about that every day, and we go back and we go when we break down the film. We're 4 or 5 plays from being good, 4 or 5 plays from winning games, and so we talk to our kids about that. Sometimes 18 and 20-year-olds, they get caught up in the emotion of the game. The game starts going fast, and so they're not able to process as quickly. And so you hopefully, as we continue to practice and rep these things, that you'll start to see those mistakes eliminated. Yeah, that's where they're heading. They got a lot of guys back from last year, and they were in position in a lot of games to win those, and ours being one of them. So they're building on that success that they've had. Those kids are playing hard right now, and hopefully they're just as disappointed in the losses that they've experienced the last couple of weeks against Midwestern and Commerce, and hopefully we can take advantage of that and go in. Obviously, I think we're the underdog going into this game, and hopefully we can use that mentality as well.
You got to show up to play. You can't go to a place where you've only won once in the last 23 years and expect to win, without doing the right things on the court. I was pretty disappointed on Saturday when we were coming home in an awesome 5.5-hour bus ride. You get to mull over all the things you did and didn't do. We had some pretty amazing individual performances in that match. We had 2 or 3 kids hitting well over 300. Bree Sotelo probably played one of the best matches of her career up there, But defensively, we weren't very good. We hit over 300 as a team for the match, but they were close to that too. And we can't allow that to happen. That's not our signature, And they found ways to exploit us. And the thing that they did really well, they didn't make very many errors. They were making only 2 or 3 errors a set, and we were double, triple that sometimes. So you can't go in to a place where it's hard to win and just give your B-plus game. You got to play hard. And they played well, and we didn't play quite as well as we needed to. So what I take out of it is we have to be prepared. You can tell them as many times as you want, you're going to get everybody's best shot. And I proved it. I mean, we will. Everybody will give us their best. What do they have to lose? And so we have to be prepared for that. That's mentally, we got to be mentally tougher in that area. Well, she's got some really good players around her first, but she's very talented. She's good to begin with. So, played at a really high level in high school and during clubs. So she brings a lot to the table. But there were points in time where we all kind of looked just a little lost. When things weren't quite going our way, and we need someone on our side to step up and make sure that we're doing the right things all the time, regardless of what I'm telling them. They have to do those things. So, but she's played well all season long. I mean, a lot of our players have played well all season long, but defensively, we just didn't do what we needed to do. So we have to make some adjustments there, I think. Well, I wish we were playing tomorrow. I don't want to break. I want to get back in and do it right. The problem is you have 4 or 5 days to kind of sit and stew over it, and I do. I'm a bad loser, that's for sure. But my players are competitive. They're gonna be in the gym. They're gonna take the time to improve on what we need to improve on, and we have a really good team coming in this week. We've got some distractions too. This week we're celebrating our 40th year of volleyball here at Angelo State. It's an alumni weekend. We're gonna have a ton of people here. From all the way from our very first team in 1976. There'll be players and coaches here from that era all the way through to now. So it's an important weekend, but we've got Kingsville is coming in. They've only lost a couple matches. They're super athletic. They're one of the best teams in the conference, so we better be ready to play. It better be. I think so. You can't just coast on what you did last week, or even 3 days ago. You played Tarleton on Tuesday, but it's one match. We got to learn from it, and I know that's kind of coach talk, but if we don't, we're going to be in trouble. I mean, we're a really good team, but we've got to play a certain way, and we've got to make sure that we're committed to playing that way all the time.